A warm welcome to everyone who's joining the Your Story Festival today, as it coincides with the World Storytelling Day, which is the 20th of March. So today we want you to get the most out of the day, and we have our volunteers and graduates and scholars with us today to help us illustrate what's on offer and what we can look forward to. So I'm going to start with Betty. Betty, who is an author, illustrator, and editor, and has been working tirelessly around Europe to gather participation. So Betty, what are you looking forward to today?
Today, you cannot miss watching jargon-free zones where you learn how to keep all information readable to suit any audience, and the language of children, how plain writing must be for children and how illustrations help to improve understanding.
Wonderful. That sounds exciting. Harry, what can we look forward to today?
So I'm really interested in the life of international correspondence. So I'm sort of interested to see what these people have to say about what it's like to be sort of living life with one foot in one country, you know, where you're reporting on, and then the other country that you're reporting to. I think that's just wonderful sort of career that I'd like to find out more about. And then later on, Katie Evans Bush is going to tell us why we all need poetry in our lives. And I really want to find out why she thinks that.
That's great. And from a screenwriting graduate perspective, who Harry is, and he's been giving us of his time while he's waiting to improve his employability in April. So thank you, Harry. That's great. Excellent. Susan. Susan is our festival manager who has given us spreadsheets in and day out, and we have been following her direction. So Susan, what do you think we should be looking forward to?
Well, today, I have to say that as a football fan and a football writing fan, I'm really looking forward to talking to the well-known football journalists Philippe Auclair and Raphael Honigstein about their experiences working in multiple languages and how storytelling about the global game differs across the globe. And then another one that I'm particularly looking forward to is the one that we've called Taking Care of Your Staff in Plain English. Whether you are a people manager, have a manager, or engage in activities in your community and voluntary groups, I think we can all benefit from hearing the lessons that Dr. Richard Noor, Brian Cinsani and Anise Piazza will share with Alison Davies in that session.
Wow, very interesting, a broad spectrum of things so far. Rachel, who is our creative manager, what are we looking forward to today?
Well, I'm really looking forward to 10:30 in the morning when we have a talk called The Big and the Small, which is with Jaya Bhattacharjee Rose and Laura Waddell. And it's all about publishing in India and Scotland and the difference between the two and the similarities they have and what the publishing industry is like in both countries. And the other one that I am really interested in as well is another one that I'm hosting, which is about world storytelling. And it's James McSill and Sean Bithell, and they're both talking about how you tell the same stories across the world and what is exotic for one country in their stories isn't for another, and how that works. And I think that'll be a really fun night because Sean is very sarcastic and James is very funny, and it'll be a really good fun event.
Yes, a good mix of people with vast experience. Sounds fantastic. And then what I'm looking for, I'm Beverly Varley. I'm the business manager of YORStory. And what I'm particularly looking forward to is looking at how investigative journalists get people to tell them their secrets and stories. And I'm sure they'll have lots to tell us. They've got vast experience across the globe. And so it'll be interesting to be that little flower in the world and see what tips and tricks they have for us to get people to tell us things. And last but no means least, on Saturday, we get to the heart of what is plain English, and that is the item at 9 o'clock called Perfectly Plain. We're going to examine what is this thing called plain English? Does it exist? And how does it feature in the rest of the world? So that's what we've got to look forward to on Saturday, World Storytelling Day. But then let's wait for tomorrow when we'll have a welcome again and tell you how you can get the best out of Sunday, which will equally be more interesting and inspirational. But before we kick today off, we've got a special guest, Giuliana Sistini, who is our mascot for the festival. She has worked tirelessly throughout Canada, beyond our home city of Vancouver, to gather interest and participation. And this was all of her own initiative. But beyond her resourcefulness, she's also a keen essayist. So she's going to kick us off with one of her essays and stories she's written. So Giuliana, over to you to open up the festival for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Bev, so much. So today I'm going to tell you guys share a piece called A Picture Worth 1,000 Words. So I see a picture of this girl, a smile that looks genuine, seems truthful. I see happiness. I see a beautiful girl in her car with a smile. And that girl is me. Now, when I see this picture, I think of happiness. I think of the beauties of life and how photos can capture these moments. I think of living life and loving it while in this moment. But I also see a flaw that's impossible to overlook. A filter that not only alters my face, but also penetrates into my emotions. Now, the filter covered the fact that my eyes, they were puffy. My sleeves were soaked from wiping my tears. Now, I know I don't speak for everyone, but sometimes I look at people and instantly think of them as better off in life based solely on what they pick to show us. From experience, we as a society can sometimes be so busy looking at our screens and comparing ourselves to others that we forget to look up and explore what's beyond it. We have to remember that these pictures, they're static, they're emotionless. Deductions are expected to be made when looking at a picture, judgments that sometimes we can't control. As I scrolled through my social media feeds that day, I realized that someone else would never be able to recognize periods and moments of my life of intense anxiety, sadness, or any kind of negative emotion, because who wants to see that? No one wants to see the dark and gloomy, right? Now, what are you going to find instead? You're just going to find posts and memories that suggest that I'm always in this constant state of happiness. Photos of trips, sunsets, beautiful views, and perfect friendships. After a day spent looking for ornaments and decorations for our Christmas tree, we were in the car, and the light hit my face, and the sudden urge to take a picture managed to overpower my emotions as the natural reflex to smile kicked in. I came across this quote one day, which goes, "Don't trust what you see because even salt looks like sugar." And you know that quote that goes, "Don't judge a book by its cover"? Well, sometimes you can't judge a moment by its picture. Social media is basically the cover to a book that is a person. Social media shows bits and pieces of who we are. We don't show the times we're down. We don't show the disappointments, the failures, the betrayals. We have this tendency to show the finish line when the actual importance is on the journey. What is important is the journey. We need to remember that the failures build us into who we are, shape who we are. It's the behind the scenes that make the movie what it is. The failures create the thick skin to get us to success. The disappointment forces us to make better judgments. This photo reminds me of how well, we can hide our emotions and show just what we want other people to see. Now, I look at this picture and I see how far I've come and how much I've grown, but that's all thanks to my family, and a story for another time. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was really quite insightful and inspiring. Thank you, Juliana. It's lovely to see some fresh new work from young people, and just the beginning of her career. So that's wonderful, and I'm pleased we're able to give an opportunity to show that. However, I'd really like to give a heartfelt thanks to all our volunteers who are helping us. We could not be doing this festival without you good people, and also our speakers and hosts who've given up of their time, not only to talk to us on the telephone, but to practice and meet their fellow panelists to make this weekend and today so special and inspiring that it is going to be. So on that note, have a marvelous day. There's lots to go at, and we'll see you tomorrow. So have a great day, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye-bye.